Welcome, welcome to Story Time with me, Miss Sheila. I hope you had a wonderful and beautiful day. Today, the story we're going to read is called Little Melba and Her Big Trombone. Woo! How exciting! And look at, she's a little girl here with a huge big trombone. Wow. Let's get into the story, okay? Okay. Oops. Spread the word, spread the word. Little Melba Liston was something special. The year she was born was 1926. The place was Kansas City, where you could reach out and feel the music. The avenues were lined with jazz clubs, street bands, and folks harmonizing on every corner. All the hot music makers made sure they had a gig in Kansas City, or KC is how they call it. Look at even the little babies dancing. From as far back as her memory would go, Melba loved the sounds of music. Blues and jazz and gospel rhymes danced in her head. The plink of a guitar, the hum of a bass, the thrum thrum of a drum, the ping pang of a piano, and the tremble of the sweet horn. Look at her dreaming of it. Notes stirred and rhymes bubbled all through Melba's home. She couldn't get enough. Music was always on her mind. Daydreamed about beats and lyrics. Music was on Melba's mind at night too, when she should have been fast asleep. Look at, she's sleeping, but she's dreaming of music. You see the notes? Melba loved to along with the radio. Sometimes the music sounded so good, she kept her ear to the magnificent and closed her eyes. She especially loved Fat Swaller with his growly voice and booming piano. The piano player came alive when Melba's kinfolk stopped by. While Melba pedaled, her aunties danced around the room. So you see her in the back playing the piano, and then look at her aunts are dancing, dancing, dancing up a storm. With all that music flying by, Melba wanted to create her own sounds. When she was 7, she decided to sign up for music class at school. What instrument could I play? Melba wondered. At the traveling music store, Melba eyed a long, funny looking horn. That one, she cried, it's beautiful. A trombone? Mama Lucille frowned. It's big, and you're a little girl. Please, Melba begged. Mama Lucille bought the shiny trombone on the spot. She couldn't say no to her only child. Melba beamed from ear to ear and squeezed her new friend. Look at, it's even bigger than her. That night on the porch, Melba listened to Grandpa John play his guitar. This time she had her own music maker, and Grandpa John showed Melba how to cradle the horn, and she tried to push out the slide, but her arms were too short. She had to tilt her head sideways and stretch out her right arm. Melba gave the horn a mighty blow. Honk, honk. It sounded bad, like a howling dog. Oh, I'm no good, Grandpa. If you can blow, you can play, Grandpa John said. Now stand up straight and blow steady. Mabel stayed up real late and practiced until she could play a simple tune all by herself. Yep. Thank goodness she didn't give up. You can't give up the first time. Keep trying and practicing, and by God's grace, you will get it. Even with her keen ear, teaching herself to play the trombone was no piece of cake. But Melba kept blowing her horn, getting better day by day. The cool brass of the horn felt swell on her fingers. Before long, Melba and her horn were making magic. She was only 8 when the local radio station invited her to play a solo. Mama Lucille and Grandpa John were so proud as they watched little Melba play her big trombone on the radio. Look at that. Hard times hit rock bottom in 1937. That's when Melba and her mother moved to Los Angeles. The long train ride took them 5 states west and worlds away from Kansas City. Melba's new teachers discovered that she was as smart as a whip. Her test scores were so high, the principal skipped her up from 6th grade to 8th. Wow! In high school, Melba joined Alma Hightower's famous after school music club, and Melba quickly became the star player in the club's band, the Mediocre Dots. Oh, the Melodoc Dots, sorry. The other club members struggled to keep up with Melba. Jealous boys called her bad names. She tried not to care, but way down deep, the names hurt, and Melba used her horn to turn all those hurt feelings into soulful music. Wonderful, because sometimes there are people who are jealous or feel like, oh, she's better than me, like that's unfair, and then and to try to make themselves feel better, they put the other person down, which is not nice. So Melba's talented kept growing. I read that wrong. Melba's talent kept growing. She began writing music too. Then in 1943, when she was 17, Melba was invited to tour the country with a new band lead, the trumpet player Gerald Wilson. Go meet the world, Mama Lucille said and hugged Melba goodbye. You have my blessing. And Melba could feel it in her bones. The jazz scene was calling her name. Wow. Traveling with the band was a thrill. Each city, from Salt Lake to New York, was an eyeful of something new. Melba became a master musician. She composed and arranged music, spinning rhymes, harmonies, and melodies into gorgeous songs. And when Melba played the trombone, her bold notes and one of a kind sound mesmerized the crowd. Wow. Still, Melba was lonely. She was the only woman in the band. Some of the men were cruel, others acted as if she wasn't there. Melba let the music in her head keep her company. Rough times came when Melba traveled down south with singer Billie Holiday and her band. Some white folks didn't show good manners toward folks with brown skin. Hotel rooms were hard to come by, and the band members often had to sleep on the bus. Restaurants didn't always want their business, and in the club's audience sometimes just sat and stared at the band or didn't show up at all. Discouraged, Melba almost walked away from her trombone for good. Oh, that would be hard. But Melba's fans wouldn't let her quit. By the 1950s, all the cool jazz musicians wanted some Melba magic. Dizzy Gillespie, Duke Ellington, Quincy Jones, and more. They wanted to be on the bandstand with Melba and her divine horn. They wanted to play Melba's music. Yes. Oh, look at her. Melba and her music trotted around the globe, dazzling audiences and making headlines in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. All her life, Melba kept composing and arranging music, kept making her trombone sing. Spread the word. Melba Liston was something special. Oh, so here now, look, you get to see her in real life, a picture of her in real life. Can you see? And here's another one. Wow, I so hope you enjoyed this story tonight, and I hope you don't let anybody squash your dreams, that you keep going for whatever it is that's in your heart to do, this like Melba did. Sometimes we can get discouraged, but we keep pushing forward. Until next time with me, Miss Sheila, I hope you have a wonderful and beautiful night and keep shining your beautiful light. Take care. Bye.